Ready?
1, 2. Oh, shit.
What up, guys? You guys are tuning in to NickyMGTV for another military video for all your military video needs. If you guys want, you guys can always tune into my Snapchat or Instagram. They will be linked down below. If you have a comment or question, you can hit me up there or even just leave it down here in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you guys want to see more military videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Love you guys. Channel's blowing up. My goal is 5,000, I'd say, by the end of March. So, please, we're on the road to 10K, baby. 10K. I actually had a question from a viewer because he knew I worked in the medical field, and the question was actually really good. And it was about what do we call people that are doctors in the military. And the reason why the question is good is because it's different being in the medical side of the house, and that's because the fact that we have two different types of hierarchies. We have the medical hierarchy. So, for example, you have a doctor, which is seen as this, nurses, LVNs, and so on, that work underneath that, technicians, things of that nature. And then in the military, you have people that are 03, 04, 05. And so it does kind of blur the lines in what you call somebody. Out of personal insight, I normally call all the doctors, Dr. So-and-so, because in our setting of healthcare, I think that is a greater precedence than what the rank is. And that shows a greater respect, in my opinion, because there are people that only have bachelor's degrees that are an officer. So I feel like it's pretty much a higher level of respect than just saying lieutenant commander, lieutenant so-and-so. I think it's a more professional, based on the setting that we're in, too, is because we're providing healthcare. Those lines blur because you do have situations where sometimes the doctor is going to be an 03, but then you'll have a nurse that could be an 05. So it's really a team effort, and it's an understanding of where your role is and what you're actually talking about. There are times where you're going to see in the military where someone has a situational authority over somebody that is actually higher ranking than them, or positional authority, I should say. That happens. It's just when someone knows more, does that mean you can't learn from them? No, it doesn't. It just means that if they know more, they should probably be in charge of that. But that inspired this video of going from enlisted to doctor. And this is actually a new program for the Navy. It's been out for a good while for the Army and Air Force. We adopted it recently. I believe it was 2 years ago. What happened was we had people that were getting out of the Navy to go become doctors because they had their bachelor's, and then they were coming back in. The military, or the Navy, Army, Air Force, they saw this and they were thinking, how can we provide more options to sailors to stay within the military ranks but still meet what they are desiring to do? And so when this program came out, I think they allowed 4 or 5 applicants, but I believe this year it's like 6 or 8. So I don't know how many people applied. They don't release those numbers, but I can't tell you how competitive it is, but I can tell you the basic requirements are you need a 4-year bachelor's degree. It doesn't matter what it's in, as long as you have a 4-year bachelor's degree. So if you're coming to the military and you have a bachelor's degree and this is something you're interested in, you could probably be picked up for the program even within 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of your service, and you could be an officer within the next couple of years. What ends up happening with this program is you apply, there's a package. I'm not here to explain everything that's needed because it's lengthy, and you're going to need somebody when you join, or if you're already in, to go over it with you, a career counselor, which will make sure everything is good to go. But as far as what's going to happen is, if once your package is accepted, you will then go to Washington, D.C. area, where you would attend a preparatory school for 2 years. 2 years to prep just for the MCAT, which is a standardized test to become a doctor and apply to med school. They're going to make sure you have all prerequisites for med school, so that's why the degree doesn't matter. So you'll fulfill all those requirements. Once you're done with the 2 years of preparatory school, you're going to go for your MCATs. When you go for the MCAT, you don't have to go to what's called USIS. This is the uniform school for doctors that the Navy has put together. You don't have to go there, and your seat isn't guaranteed, but you are going to apply to other schools throughout the country. So if you are not accepted to USIS, you could go do that as well. The benefit of this program is it's worth over $300,000. That's the first benefit. Second benefit, you're going to have no debt. Third benefit is you are still going to be paid as your certain rank that you're in already. And you're also going to be having healthcare benefits and all that. The only downfall, which isn't really a downfall if you're in shape, is you have to run your fitness tests every 6 months and still take an advancement test if you're eligible for advancement. I did forget to mention one thing about what you need to be. You need to be an E5 within the Navy. So there's a lot of people that will make E5 within 2.5, 3 years. Sometimes it may take a little longer like I did. It all depends on the job that you're in. The benefit of this program is that you are going to become a doctor, which is an automatic O3 position. There is internships and things like that where your rank is different, but when you're fully done with med school, you will be a lieutenant in the United States Navy as a commissioned officer doing medicine, which is awesome. Other thing I wanted to mention is even if you're not wanting to join, but you're considering becoming a doctor, that is, you can look at HSPS. And that is important because it is a scholarship for if you're already in med school or you're applying to med school, where they're going to pay for your med school. There's a certain amount, and it's usually totally covered from the doctors I spoke with. And they told me that pretty much you get a stipend for $2,100. You're going to get health care on top of that, and your med school is paid for. The enlisted version is better, but you're taking a gamble on if you will be accepted to that program. That's why it's kind of, you have to weigh the options of what you would like to do, whether you would like to go enlist if you can't pay for med school, or if you can pay for med school and you want to join, you can take HSPS, and that's an option as well. Or you could even join as a doctor already and look for any kind of loan repayment programs that the Navy can offer you, or any other branches will offer you as well. Can't go into that. You got to talk with a recruiter to go over specifics. The Navy will actually pay you a bonus on an annual basis of extra money because you have taken on a professional degree. So not only are you getting paid as maybe the entry level O3, you will be getting paid that extra money, which I believe, depending on the doctor, is like $36,000. I know pharmacists got $15,000. It's crazy. So, but it's extra money. And also, if you're prior enlisted, the ranks from O1, O2, and O3, we have O1, O2, O3E, which are higher pay because you have been prior enlisted. So if you're coming in fresh as an O1, you'll get paid less than someone that was prior enlisted O1. So it gives you guys some more incentive, more money, things of that nature that you guys can look forward to. As always, guys, if you guys have questions about the military, or you're considering joining and you want to know about something or considering it, make sure you leave a comment down below. Hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Snapchat. As always, I respond to you guys there, and I make sure it gets done, so that way you get to know the right information. If you guys want, throw a little subscribe on that button, show down the bell, make sure you're notified when a new video comes out. I'm trying to do it every other day, if not every day. So please keep coming back for more. I promise you, more content is coming, more job videos are coming, more NickyMGTV is going to be on the Snapchat, on the Instagram, on the YouTubes. I love you guys. Thanks for everything. I'll see you guys later.
We're concentrating on falling apart.